All right, so this is the follow-up on the crash on I-95 in Norwalk that happened at 5:30 this morning involving a car, fuel tanker, and a tractor-trailer truck. And again, thank God, no fatalities, but it has closed down I-95 in both directions. Just got an update on what comes next. The bridge was damaged. The heat from the burning fuel compromised some of the bridge, so that bridge is going to have to come down. That demolition is going to start first thing tomorrow morning, 3 a.m. in the morning. Shearers are going to come lift that bridge out. That could probably take 24 hours or a little longer than that. Then they're going to have to take a second look at repaving to make sure that the road is safe and secure. Garrett Eucalito is going to step up. He just told me if all goes well, and I'll monitor this, we should have two-way commuting back on I-95 as early as Monday morning, which is heroic work. Eversource is here with us as well. There was a line that fed many, many homes. They've kept that going. Nobody was without electricity. And of course, Harry Rilling, the mayor of Norwalk, they're front and center, tell you about the amazing work that our team did across the board responding to this disaster. It is an emergency declaration. I filed that with the feds just in the last hour, hoping to get federal reimbursement for the replacement of the bridge. We ought to get some notification on that in the not too distant future. But first and foremost, what we got to do is get that bridge out of there, get two-way traffic going. The congestion in and around that section of Norwalk is still heavy. We continue to send notices out to everybody to stay away from that. 84, 87, and the Merritt are heavy. There'll be extra rail service as needed if you want to go into New York or get up to Hartford, depending on where you're going from. My recommendation is if you can't stay home, take the train, stay away from the cars. With that, I'd like to introduce to you Harry Rilling, the great mayor of Norwalk.
Thank you, Governor. And the governor was right. This could have been so much worse. We're very grateful that nobody was seriously injured. We're also very grateful for the response from the state of Connecticut, from our team. Our police officers were out there, our firefighters were out there and took control of the situation rather quickly. And the response from the state has been really great. So we're optimistic that we're going to get moving forward. Things will get back to normal in Norwalk as quickly as we possibly can. We've scheduled some different staggering work times for people so that they can come in later, maybe go home earlier so we can reduce some of the traffic, but we're also asking a lot of our staff to work from home. So we feel that will keep some of the traffic off the road. We have extra officers on around the clock for the next couple of days. Firefighters will be there, extra firefighters for the next couple of days. So again, we think we've got everything under control, and we're optimistic we're going to move forward with this and get through it. So thank you.
Garrett?
Yep. Good afternoon. So I do want to thank first the City of Norwalk, the Norwalk Fire Department, which is stationed right there, as well as Norwalk PD, and the first responders who really made sure that this was something that could have been much worse. Went pretty seamlessly. It allowed our DOT crews to do their work, the utility crews also, who have been doing work since the morning to ensure it's safe for everyone. This bridge is less than 10 years old, but the damage was pretty severe due to the amount of gasoline that was in the tanker, ignited directly underneath the bridge structure. The steel did begin to overheat and warp. And it is a contiguous beam bridge, which means the beams go across both spans of the highway. Unfortunately, it's not able to be safely reopened in either direction underneath that bridge. So we will be mobilizing a contractor to begin work tomorrow. They are in the process of bringing equipment into Connecticut to do the work. This is large equipment that we don't currently stage in Connecticut due to the size of doing this type of demolition. And we're hopeful that once we can start that work tomorrow morning, we'll be able to have the bridge completely removed. We'll work through the weekend and then hopefully have everything, as long as the weather holds out, have everything reopened for the commute on Monday morning. And I think that's it. Colonel?
Thank you. I'd also like to thank our partners, Norwalk Police Department, Norwalk Fire, DOT, Deputy Commissioner Bergeron, and Bill Turner for their support through this, and all the others who I haven't mentioned. I'll give you a brief synopsis of what happened today. At about 5:30 this morning, Troop G was made aware of a 3-vehicle accident that occurred involving a passenger vehicle and 2 tractor trailers, one of them being a tanker truck carrying fuel oil. At this point, I'm sorry, there were one occupant in each vehicle, so three people involved total. No one was injured, as indicated before, and we're very fortunate there were no fatalities or serious injuries. So we're very happy about that part, at least. No enforcement action has been taken at this time. This is an ongoing investigation, and at the conclusion, we'll have more to report on that. Our response involved troopers from Troop G, the Fire and Explosive Investigative Unit, FEIU, the CSP Truck Squad, as well as the CSP Collision Analysis Reconstruction Squad, also known as CARS. They all responded to the scene and conducted a thorough investigation. We were able to map the scene and do inspections on all the vehicles involved. Our investigation, it included taking measurements, gathering evidence, and interviewing witnesses and observations, as well as taking photographs. We're currently transitioned to a traffic diversion involvement at this point. Our troopers are posted in various locations throughout the diversionary route, and we're encouraging everyone to avoid the area. We're asking you to be patient. Obviously, the traffic is backed up at this time, and we're just looking for cooperation from the public to avoid the area. As the commissioner indicated earlier, we are looking to keep all of the commercial vehicles off of the parkways. We have troopers in the area to prevent them from entering those areas as well. We are out there. We're working to keep the roadways safe, and thank you very much.
Colonel, you did need fuel oil, not gas, because there were some reports of gasoline.
Gasoline, I'm sorry. I misspoke. I apologize.
Hi, all. The Deep Emergency Response Unit has been on the scene since this morning. We believe approximately 4,000 gallons of gasoline spilled and was burned away, and approximately 4,000 gallons remained on the truck. That has since been recovered from the truck. The Deep ERU team has conducted air monitoring with handheld technology, and we believe there's no danger, no impacts to air quality due to the burned gasoline. We also believe there's no impact to the Norwalk River or the harbor, and we are continue to remain on the scene with our spill cleanup contractors removing any gasoline that remains. And the Deep ERU team expects to remain on the scene overnight.
Any on-topic questions?
Can the mayor talk about what impact this may have on the school day tomorrow? Are you making any changes? Obviously, the traffic will impact bus routes.
We're looking at that right now to see if the school is going to be closed tomorrow and/or Monday, but that decision has not been made yet. They've sent out a voice message to all the parents and looking at perhaps staggering openings if they are going to be open, but no decision has been made to close the school yet.
Mayor, regarding the staggered openings, is that for just your staff, or is it also for major employers in the area?
No, mainly for the students, because a lot of the parents drive their kids to school, and it can get quite backed up. So hopefully they're going to close the schools, but the superintendent has not made up her mind yet.
But have you reached out to major employers in the area, asking them to somehow maybe allow workers to work from home or staggered?
Yes, we've got everything out on our social media pages, yes.
But not like, you haven't reached out to specific
Well,
companies?
we haven't made telephone calls to everybody, but we have. We send out a lot of information during the course of the day, keeping everybody posted as to what the current status is. And so we've told them to keep people home, let them work from home if they can.
So 95 will be closed in both directions until at least Monday morning. That's your best estimate, Garrett?
Yeah, it's not safe, based on our engineer's review, it's not safe to allow any traffic to pass underneath the bridge in either direction. The entire bridge needs to come down. In order to do that quickly, it needs to be no traffic of any kind to get this large equipment in there, completely remove it. If we were to allow traffic on one side, even if it was safe on one side, in order to remove the bridge, you need to take the whole thing out. You can't just leave half the bridge in place.
Is this one of the bridges that was basically dropped into place overnight with the new construction technique, or?
No, it was not accelerated bridge construction. It took a few years.
What does that carry? What route does that carry across?
Fairfield Avenue across the top, at local road. So.
It's a local road, but it's a state bridge because it spans this. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the plan for that? Are you going to be putting in a temporary bridge in the meantime? Or?
No, definitely not a temporary bridge. It's not possible to put a temporary bridge over I-95 that would traverse that long of a distance across that multiple lanes. So we will have to build a new bridge. So we will, as soon as we remove it, we can begin the inspections of the pier in the middle and the median. If that pier is safe and solid and there was no damage to the pier, that will make life a little bit easier to do a complete rebuild, where we can just procure new steel, which there is quite a long lag time for steel right now, several months. But the goal is, if the pier is safe, if the abutments on either side of the bridge structure are safe, it'll make life easier for us to be able to build a new bridge in place over the course of a year. So.
Or a year, okay. Yeah. And I'm sorry, what is a pier?
It's the concrete in the middle that holds up the bridge.
Can you elaborate on the additional Metro North services? Will this be all entire weekend? Is this just during peak hours? When will we see more trains?
So right now, no trains will be definitely added to the schedule. Metro North has crews on call, and we've mobilized additional equipment. So Metro North is going to monitor in real time. The good thing is tomorrow, Friday, is the lightest day of the work week for Metro North travel. So we don't expect any problems on a Friday to absorb increased capacity. Weekends have been busy. So we're going to monitor in real time what the passenger load is of those train sets. If Metro North needs to add additional train sets due to capacity issues, they'll have the ability to quickly mobilize and add those train sets on or add additional cars on.
On a normal day, what is the traffic volume on that part of 95?
Average daily traffic volume through there is about 160,000, both directions combined. So.
Colonel, could you describe those diversion plans for commuters and truck operators? Where are they going to be diverted to, and how could that impact potentially local traffic?
Yeah, so I-95 northbound, it's closed at exit 14, so you'll be diverted off exit 14, and you'll re-enter at exit 15 northbound. When you're going southbound, you'll be diverted off of exit 15 onto West Street, and then you'll get back on at exit 14 southbound. If you're in a passenger vehicle, you could get onto Route 7, and if you were going to travel up, you could go all the way up to the Merritt Parkway, which would be exit 3. All commercial traffic would have to avoid exit 3, and they could get off either the West Street exit, exit 1, which is a Belden Avenue, exit 2, or the Grist Mill.
Have you had any issues with commercial traffic trying to get on the Parkway?
Not as much as you would think. People have been complying with that, and we do appreciate the buy-in from the public on that.
What efforts are being done to get the word out about the truck diversion route, particularly since it's going to require people to take several routes starting in New York? I'm assuming there's cooperation with New York to have signage and alert trucks.
So you want to take that, Bill? Yeah.
Good afternoon. I'm Bill Turner, the State Emergency Management Director. So one of the tools we're utilizing is what we call wireless emergency alerts. So since this morning, we've had that in place, and that will remain in effect. And we have a message telling all traffic starting at the New York border down near Port Chester all the way up to Bridgeport and north along Route 7. Anyone that drives into that area in that geographical footprint will receive a wireless alert on their cell phone advising them to avoid the area. We're going to keep that active throughout the night into tomorrow, continue to evaluate how long we need to keep that in place. But we already see that that's working, as we're seeing the traffic coming out of New York has already lessened. So it seems that the message is working as designed and getting people to take the diversion route, which we do have highlighted next to me here, and we'll continue to share those maps, really encouraging anyone coming out of Boston how to get around this incident as well as coming out of New York. And then if anyone does find themselves in the immediate area of the incident, how to quickly navigate that diversion plan that the Colonel just spoke of. So, and Commissioner? Yeah.
And one thing that I think works well is all of our state DOTs communicate in operations like this. So we've been in communication all the way down to Delaware, all the way up through Massachusetts, and they've been putting message boards in their states telling truckers before they even come to Connecticut to avoid I-95 so that they can go around, get on 684, 84, or 87 to 84. So we don't want them to hit Connecticut and then get stuck in the traffic on I-95. So that communication's been pushed out to all the state DOTs on their overhead VMS boards, also through a system that we're able to push messages into the commercial vehicle cab cars, cab signals, so they get alerts in their cabs through TomTom driveways and other commercial equipment they have.
Governor, could you talk about the economic impact you expect a multi-day closure to have?
Is that me? Thank God it's Friday, not our busiest day. You know, I worry about supply chain issues and delays that you may have back and forth. I think it will definitely impact the local merchants in a variety of different ways. I think broadly for the state it'll be a lot less of an economic impact. Bob Duff, if we have a vote on the budget on Saturday, I recommend the guys from Norwalk leave a little early.
How big of a diversion would that be to get to Boston? Do you know miles-wise, time-wise?
I don't know, but it's going to be a longer route for them. There's a reason they take 95 in the first place. The time is money for them in the commercial trucking space, so they're going to go the fastest route. So if they were taking 95 to begin with, was going to be the fastest route for them. Now it will be a diversion, added time and cost, but it's going to be much less time than waiting to get through the 95 detour. So.
The governor had mentioned electric utility lines running through there. We had also heard there was gas. Is there both running under there? Were there other utilities that were impacted, or is it just
Yankee Gas who's actually going to come up and answer that question.
EverSource. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
The governor talked about the electrical running through there. We had also heard there was gas lines. Were those impacted at all?
Yeah, EverSource does not have any electric facilities on the structure. It's only a 12-inch steel gas line. We're working and have not lost any customers. We're isolating that as we speak, so the demo can be conducted in the morning.
Colonel, are you concerned about increased incidences of road rage or people who are frustrated by or confused by these delays?
Well, I'm concerned about it, but we have troopers out there ready to respond. Should anyone have any issues, I encourage you to call 911. We have troopers ready to respond. We have extra patrols out there to mitigate that.
Hearing no further questions, thanks. Thank you, guys. Really good work.
Thank you. Great response.